like you said, you've been hunting it since 2010.
Yeah, and it's like
You
it's
know,
no different than fishing lakes. Like we talk about. I'll bring people to lakes because I don't like prioritize walleyes like I do deer. Like I don't really like to tell people my deer spots, whether it's private or public or whatever. But it's like walleyes, I'm a little more lenient on because they're fish. Like you still got to go get them, whatever. But like if you catch 5 fish out of there, or you go shoot one big buck that's on public, that big buck's gone. He's dead forever. You catch five
yeah,
fish, there's probably 50 more fish there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like these spots that you show someone and then a couple years down the road they forget who showed them the spot, and then all of a sudden it's their spot, and it's just crazy to me how that transformation goes on.
Oh
And
yeah.
nobody
Well,
you know
one thing that can be said is like everybody wants to be the guide, or everybody wants to be the guy, right? Like, oh
yeah,
yeah, I got this spot, I got this killer spot, and really you're the buddy before you told you about this killer
yeah,
spot that you just told, but you're the guy because you showed your
yeah,
buddy this killer spot, and then he's going to be the guy for his buddy. It's kind of a vicious, and everybody, that's the thing about hunting and fishing, everybody wants to enjoy it and the camaraderie, and like you watching me shoot a deer, me watching you shoot a deer or turkey, like it's just as fun as the other guy, as
yeah.
the other guy actually pulling the trigger, right? So like everybody, like that's what everybody loves, but sometimes these really good spots can get overcrowded or
Yeah, they
whatever,
get
and
molested, and it's like
well, then it's essentially over. Like, so have you seen Boley's new video?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean
So
that's close to
for
home for you, so it's like I
for
just
everybody
think
who
that
doesn't
that's
know, Tom Boley is a content creator, YouTube walleye fisherman. I thought it was ironic because in his bio on his Instagram, it says, if you're here for waypoint, swipe left. But he is probably arguably one of the bigger YouTube walleye guys, I would say. And he does a series called Hunt for the One, where he goes around and he fishes, tries to find a 30-inch walleye. I think he's gone to Lake Oahe. I think he's fished a few of the Great Lakes, whatever. Um, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but there's a lake that has a pretty unique resource in it, and they're pretty big. And most of the people that are listening here probably know what I'm talking about, but that's about as deep as I'm going to go. And it's the only spot in the continent, essentially, that you can catch these fish, or whatever. So it's not like people know about them, but it's not like a guy who's a YouTube guy who's got 152,000 subscribers on YouTube. And
well,
you're
yeah. I
talking a
mean,
lake that's what, 600, 800, 900 acres, whatever the size it is. That's not a very big lake. And you plaster it all over YouTube. Like, are you doing that? Is he doing that back home in Wisconsin if he's in this tiny lake where he knows that there's a
no.
30-inch walleye in? Like, he's not telling everybody. And like, granted, yes, he didn't name drop the lake, but
If you
like
Google it,
like you said, a quick Google search, you can kind of figure out what's going on. And like a lot of people didn't realize how many were in there and how big they were. And now my worry is, because ever since he's did that, you see nothing but social media posts about it.
all
Nothing
over.
but
Yeah.
more YouTube videos on it. Jason Mitchell was out there. There's a ton of NWT guys were out there. I think Bo Schilling was out there and caught one. There's a lot of people doing it now specifically because of what Tom Boley did. 100% convinced of that. And I'm sure there's going to be some guys who listen to this that don't agree with me, but here you got a guy who literally fishes for a living. He has time to fish because that's what he does for his job. He could have gone to where these fish are native and done it the right way, and even caught bigger ones.
Yeah.
And he could have made content the whole time doing it.
And probably better content, to be honest.
Great. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're 100%. And like, I know guys like Jay Siemens on YouTube, like he's got one, and they're just like, it's awesome. But like, why, with a guy with that presence on social media and that in the walleye industry, and like he knew what was going to happen, And like I used to watch every video. I actually have learned a lot of stuff from Tom Boley, and I probably won't watch another one of his videos. I'm boycotting him. I don't know. It probably doesn't matter at all. I know he couldn't care less, but at the end of the day, he did it for the clicks. And I
Well, it
know
goes
that
back to
kind of,
the original, yeah, the ethics of fit. Like, dude, that's the number one
yes,
thing of fishing. Like, don't tell people your spot kind of deal, which I'm not that psycho about it. But in that situation where it's proprietary one thing that's a small, like, and it goes back to the public land thing we just talked about. Yeah, you can go fish that, but you didn't know about it until I told you. All these
yes.
people that are fishing about it or fishing it, they didn't know about it until he told them, until
And the
he
thing is
blasted it.
like there's this other
You know?
YouTube guy. His last name is like Sweary or something. I think he guides on Erie or one of the Great Lakes. And that kid, I have a little bit, quite a bit of respect for him because I think he was out last year and caught a pile of them, and he kept his mouth shut.
Yeah.
And then the day Boley blew it up, he put his YouTube video on, and everybody else started putting theirs on and pictures and like, I mean, what did everybody think was going to happen? What did Boley specifically think was going to happen when he posted that?
Well,
I
he either
mean,
knew or he's brain dead. I mean, but he's not brain dead, so he knew what he was getting. You know, I mean,
he
he
knew
knew
what
what he
he's
was
doing,
doing.
and like it's funny because all the negative comments about like, okay, think about all the ANS issues that that could potentially happen with that lake now, especially with like Minnesota having such a massive problem with zebra mussels and all the other stuff. Okay, how many boats are going to be traveling to this place? Every time you drive by there, the access is loaded. Like, and you'd like to think that maybe the hype will calm down a little bit, but I don't really see it. And you'd also
It
hope to
won't.
think,
It won't until they fish it out, dude. Until they take every single big one out, and people go there and stop catching them, they're gonna do it, dude. It's what's gonna happen. I mean, I guarantee
I
it.
mean, yeah, there's a
It's sad.
pile of people out there ice fishing them, and like, which that was pre-Boley, but I don't know what he was thinking. Like, and one thing I've noticed about a lot of the hunt for the ones on his videos, like if he's on Oahe, he'll tell you he's on Oahe. If he's on Superior, he'll tell you he's on Superior. But if he's in Wisconsin, his home state, you don't get to know. You don't
Yeah, if
know
it's a
nothing.
little, if it's a smaller, intimate lake,
Because
he's not
why would
telling you.
he blow it up? Because he
Yeah.
specifically knows what's going to happen when he does that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just,
he specifically knows what's going to happen when he does that.
kind of
So
crazy behavior.
it's well, dude, it's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
tomorrow, like he drops videos every Sunday, and I've started this thing now where every Sunday I message him, and we'll see how long it takes till he responds. But tomorrow morning I'll politely message him again, wanting him to maybe just like post something about at least the taking care of them. I do think I didn't even watch the video, but I do think he talked a little bit in there about like how to handle them or whatever. But these fish are extremely vulnerable, or they're bad. Like you got to be very careful with these things. And what do you think people are doing? They're taking pictures for 3-4 minutes when it's 80 degrees out, 90 degrees out.
Yeah, but I saw one the other day with a guy was holding 230 pluses up. Like, dude, you didn't just get both those in 5 seconds. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's what I
saying?
mean. They're
Like,
taking a live well ride so he can go mount a
yeah,
wall full of them and tell all of his buddies. You know,
yeah.
and
Or
like,
even if they're not mounted them, they're like, say, "Oh, I released them." Well, yeah, but you had them in the live well in 80-degree water for an hour or 2 hours or whatever. They're
yeah,
dead. They're gonna die.
they're
I
dead.
mean,
They're not. Yeah, it's in a bathtub. Like it's just really, really disappointing to me. And like I truly did watch. I mean, I remember you were at Brock's and you were calling me, what jig should I get? And I was rattling all this crap off, and Brock's like, wow, all he does is watch Boley or what? Like I 100% admit that I watched almost every one of his videos, and I've learned a ton about walleye fishing from him. But I can't now. I won't watch another video. And I know
it's
he doesn't
crazy.
care. I'm a drop in the bucket, but
Yeah, but it's crazy how you can look up to somebody like that, or I don't want to say idolize, but learn from them, and then they do something like that, and it's like everything you've done kind of means nothing.
yeah, I mean, and it is like,
It's
come
sad.
here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Oh, every time he catches a walleye, like
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good on that. No, I'm good on that.
Yeah, it's just
But
kind of all encompassing with the ethics of things, and I'm not. I mean, you know me. I've made mistakes as far as telling spots or doing something that
Yeah.
wasn't quite
We all
right, and
have,
like.
dude. We all wanted to be the guy, whatever. Yes.
But that's one doodle that can't be undid, where he's like, dude,
No.
he just officially single-handedly wrecked that lake, and I don't care what anyone says, he did. He knows it, and he's not gonna come out and say it. But it's like, dude, you did that yourself. Like,
Well,
just
like
own up to it, dude.
all of his posts or on all of the comments on like YouTube and Instagram, it's all you see is what a great video, Tom, or like, but you never see like, where's my comment? Where's your comment? Where's my buddy Brady's comment? Like the negative comments get, what do they call it? Like shadow banned or like whatever.
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah,
not, they're just gone into
yeah,
thin air,
yeah.
because he just has his head in the sand and is like, oh, if I don't see them or if I don't, they're not on there, then I
Yeah, well,
guess it
he's
didn't happen.
he's thinking, oh, I got 3 million views on YouTube. I'm getting paid. I don't care. I don't.
Well,
I'll
that's the
never go
thing is
back.
bad publicity is still good publicity, right? Like
Yeah.
people probably know who Tom Bully is now because of this.
Well, in the YouTube game, it's all about views, so they don't. It's just sad, man. It's like,
Well, that's the
what's the
thing is
world?
like I thought he didn't necessarily only do it for clicks until that video.
Oh,
Like at the end of
I
the
don't think he
day,
did. I liked him too. Like he was. Yeah.
at the end of the day,
But
maybe he doesn't love fish and walleyes as much as everybody thought. Maybe at the end of the day, it more so has to do with how many views can he get on every video.
yeah. I mean,
So
we talked about the hunt in public a little bit, where like
yeah.
you'll never see them do that ever.
No, those guys got it figured out. I love the hunt in public guys. Those guys do. I mean, they've been doing YouTube for what? We've been watching them for 10 years probably now, or
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
8 years or whatever. They're not blowing spots up like that. Like they may tell you a state or
Yeah, but
whatever,
they're
but
so careful about. They are so careful about even on their maps. Like they'll even put an Onyx map and explain the situation, but it won't even be the area that they're actually hunting. It's
no,
just a
yeah.
similar terrain, and they're explain because they know that some people can pinpoint that, and
Well, there's
see what
people who
public.
literally specifically watch to see if there's any detail on
Yeah,
how they can cop the spot. I mean, that's what
yeah,
we basically wanted to talk about, or some of it was spot copying. And
hmm
like
yeah, dude, it's true
those
though.
guys,
I mean,
that's their living and they're successful at it and they kill big deer and they seem to get on a lot of animals, whatever they're hunting, whether it be turkey or whitetail, they're two main things. They're not blowing up their spots. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to the same spots consistently year after year because they go through the extra, like even with this podcast, like I worry sometime that I will say something that about a spot, like I'm careful about that. And like Boley knows, he knew the audience he had and he knew what
still
was
did
going
it.
to happen.
Yeah,
He knew what was going to happen.
yeah. He didn't
So,
care. He prioritized clicks over ethics. I mean, that's all there is
yeah.
to it.
So, I mean, and he got a couple. He'll probably never be back. That lake is probably dead to
No.
him.
Well, and if people
So,
see it, he knows he's gonna get it fed to it. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy, man. Like we love it so much, and like we're nobodies, but I don't think we'd do that. Like, I mean, we
no.
get sometimes even you and me, like obviously between us, we share stuff, but like you really got to be careful who you tell.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the old saying, "Loose lips sink ships," and it's like I get burned every time I do it. So why do I keep doing it? But I love bringing people like thermal hunting or fishing,
Oh, yeah.
or like when I brought that guy the other day, like, dude, he's never seen walleyes caught like that. So he was loving it. He just loved watching me catch them. He's like, this is unbelievable, but it's like, I like giving people that opportunity, like even turkey hunting where like a gobbler at 10 yards that people have never felt that in
Yeah.
their chest. And it's like,
Like you want to be there and watch them experience it for the first time, like
yeah,
100%. But it's like the old story of you take your buddy crappie fishing and you come back the next day and your buddy's out there with another buddy crappie fishing in your
yeah,
hole. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
It's
that
tough,
don't
dude.
sit very well with most of the people that we run with.
Yeah, and like you can't and at some point they start believing that it was their spot.
Their
Like they
spot.
totally like it's just crazy. Like that Paul guy I used to work for, whatever. He's like, yeah, you caught him, but it was my boat, my rods, my spot. But you caught him, or whatever. Like, no, you didn't. You just got him handed to you, kind of deal. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like, I don't know, man. It's just a different world.
And like, there's nothing more enjoyable than hunting with somebody like new or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a sticky spot. I mean, that's why I love big giant lakes or something, like Lake of the Woods or Sakakawea or like Devil's Lake, where like you can go and get away from other people, and it can be your spot. It can be your spot for as long as you want it to be. And by that I mean as long as you keep your mouth shut. And like that unfortunately, that is a thing now, is like, besides maybe your family and close hunting buddies, like you can decide on how. Like, if I'm fishing a lake that I probably won't go back to and we end up finding them, I'll tell them. I don't care. I'll tell people, yep, go here. This is what I caught them on. I don't know if they'll still be there or not or what. I want to go catch fish. But if it's like my true 5 lakes that I like, or my 3 public land hunting spots that at the end of the day is still public. So you got to kind of treat it like it's a big secret, But at the end of the day, like, those spots I'm probably going to get there. There's probably a handful of people that know where I'm at,
Yeah.
and you're
and I don't
probably
get like,
one of them. Blake is probably one of them,
it's just, I don't like, even with the private ground, like I don't get that paranoid about it, because it's like tonight. So I took the kids to the park and we spun the block on the way home, which I usually do.
Yep.
Saw a nice buck on one of the spots I can hunt, and another nice buck on another spot. And there was a red truck that whipped it around right by the golf course, kind of spot there. And I was like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. And they slowly drove by all the stuff I can hunt. And I'm like, what are they doing? Like, they were peeping. Yeah, but it's like, what do you do? You got no business being on this road. You can't hunt it anyway. Like, get out of here. It's like, but I don't really
Yeah, but
worry
we've
about, like,
done that.
I
How many
know,
times
but
have we driven by a spot that we've drooled over that? Like, man, I wish we could hunt that or whatever,
but the amount of people that are doing it and driving that slow, like, dude, I get it. If you see a big buck randomly, fine. But
Yeah,
like, these people aren't doing it because they know they can't hunt it. They're just doing it because they know that what's there. It's like, what are you doing?
and
It's a
trying to
prop,
maybe plot and scheme on how
Yeah.
how could I maybe get that across the road or
Yeah,
something.
and it's just like, come on, man. I get it, but it's like, I put a lot of work in, leave it alone. I mean,
I went and had to respray 3 loads tonight, and I saw a good one, velvet, one that we specifically have been waiting for. So
yeah.
it's nice to see him. Yeah, I've been out kind of a few times now looking, and I'm kind of excited about the deer numbers a little bit in North Dakota
They're
again.
bouncing,
Finally, like, I
bouncing
don't think
back.
we're over the hill yet. I don't think we're like 2016, 2017 yet. Actually, I know we're not, but we're definitely better than 22, 23, 24, and 25, I think.
Yeah, but like, remember after the bad winter, what was it, 21, 22, or 22,
Yeah,
20, whatever that one was,
I
we
think
know
it
which
was
one it
back
was.
to back.
Yeah, and then after that, we had a good winter, and then we're like, God, one more winter, we could do it. And like tonight when we were talking on the phone, I was like, God, one more winter, it's gonna be killer. But like, it's almost there, but like one more mild winter, it could
Well, that's the
be
thing, is like, we've had 3
spectacular.
open winters.
Yeah,
And
it's been
like,
good.
but those 2 winters that we had prior to that, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, we were snowshoeing the coyote hunt. Um, boy, if I knew what I knew then, what I know now, that would have never happened. But
Yeah, I hear you. Oh
it's,
man, that's funny.
that was hell. I mean, and we still did it. And like, I remember one time Spence and I were hunting by Courtney, and I dump a dog at like 150 yards, and he's like, "You want the shoes?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I don't need the shoes." And I walk in there. I should have had the shoes, the snowshoes. I mean, and I don't think I walked out to get another goddamn dog after that the rest of the year, because
Well, the snowshoes aren't that like when Zach Carnes and I hunted South Dakota. Remember that bad winter?
yeah.
It was April, turkey opener, and we're dying to get out there. And like, dude, there was 4 feet of snow, and we snowshoed to kill those birds at the one spot where you killed one this year, whatever. And it's like, dude, it was miserable, and it's not fun. It's not fun even with snowshoes. It's like, how are these deer with sharp hooves surviving in 4 feet? They're just not, dude. They're getting picked off or starving, by coyotes or starving.
Well, you remember at JB's, like, or no, you didn't. you didn't really thermal back then, but like when we were thermaling during those bad winters, I think Big Nuts Jensen came out for one of them times out
Yeah.
there. But you get up on the bales and I mean, it's the best coyote spot in the world because there's literally dead deer everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there was 40, 50, 60 deer that died in that yard because they weren't getting the adequate nutrition that they were needing. And like we lost a ton of old bucks and a ton of old does, which the deer that we did have around were young. They were year and a half year old bucks or year and a half old fawn, like doe fawns or whatever. Like it was just absolutely like you could see what happened to them,
Yeah.
and like I think North Dakota this year is like the least amount of tags that they've had in 50 years or
Yeah.
something. I think we maybe talked about that already, but yeah, like you said earlier on the phone, I'm really glad that we've kind of didn't shoot a million deer the last 5 years. Like we had to be
It's just
smart
hard
about.
though, because like Minnesota will tell you literally they're big game leaders, and I've gone to the meetings. They will tell you it's easier for a deer herd to recover than to lower the population of them, which is interesting to me because it's taken what 3, 4, 5 years for it to come back in North Dakota. We're like in Minnesota, we have bad winters, but like, dude, you can kill deer faster than they can produce them because it takes what 4 or 5 years to get a nice big buck or bring the herd back. Like, you can eradicate them between hunting and a bad winter. They're gone. I mean, they're gone. We saw it in North Dakota. I mean, like,
Yeah.
so it's just like it takes so many years. Like, we always thought, oh, 2 more years or 2 years, it'll be back. Like, dude, it's still not back, and it's been
Well, like you
4.
remember last year, like you had to talk me off the ledge. Like I literally thought I was a bad deer hunter. Like, how do I have all these cameras and all these food plots and all these beautiful blinds and everything is set up and I can't get a deer on camera? What the heck? And you're like, yeah, it's tough to get a deer on camera when there's no deer to get a picture of, like,
Yeah, dude, it's
and
bad. It
that's
was
what it
bad.
is. And like up there was, 4 years ago, there was maybe 5 deer up there. Like now, and I'm talking bucks and does. Like now there's maybe 15 or 20 of them
Yeah.
that are up there right now, summering up there. And I've gone to 3 or 4 different spots watching, and you can find bucks again, kind of like the old days. Like you can find a few bucks that aren't bad to look at, like nice bucks, not dinks, 110 inches, 120 inches. Like you can maybe go find a 140, 150. I wouldn't say easily yet, but they're there. They're definitely
Well,
there.
even last fall when I was chisel plowing, I think it was the highway half or something, up to the north there, and I saw like that 7 or 9 of them come running from a grove, and I was like, this is crazy because I mean, I haven't seen that out there for 4 or 5
Years.
years where you see, during the rut, see a big group of does getting chased by a big buck. And it's like, damn, that's cool to see because you forget that that's even a thing
Oh
after,
yeah.
the deer get
Well, like look at
eradicated.
my
So,
yard. Like my yard, we're hauling grain like crazy right now, and it's been raining like been raining there too. But
mhm.
you'll come out there in the morning and there'll be a doe and fawn tracks in my yard, and I have 3 labs. And then over at Duty's place, you'll drive by, there'll be a doe and a fawn there. Vernie's yard, two, three sets of deer and doe and fawns in there. Like we weren't seeing that
No,
a
man,
couple
it's
of years
crazy.
ago.
It's good to
Like
see
Grandpa
though.
always said, I think maybe 15 years ago, I think Stutzman County was like the #1 county in the state for insurance claims for deer collisions. And like up until this year, the last 3 years, I haven't been worried about it. I forget to look for them in the ditch.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so rare you even see them.
yeah. It's great. It's good to see him coming back though. I mean,
So yeah, I know we were going to talk a lot about deer hunting because I think we had some buddies reach out and thought that the food plotting was, and I mean, I got time if you want to do a little
yeah,
dive.
no,
I
I'm
mean,
all about it. Yeah, let's do it.
well, I know we were talking about earlier about this week about like, okay, there's obviously a couple constraints for the working man food plotter, right? Work, so time, huge issue, and balling on a budget. Like, how can we plant a food plot efficiently and it's not going to cost you $5,000?
Well, and it's even about like
So
it's about the time, the budget, the access, the knowledge, and like, obviously you're a farmer, so that's helped me immensely in my, journey. But like even getting access to chemicals, because like you think about things for spraying, like, yeah, I can go to CHS, but some of them you gotta have an applicator's license or whatever to buy, or an account of some sort, whatever, or they're expensive. Like just things like that, or access to seed where like, yeah, you can buy it on marketplace like Roundup Ready or whatever, but you don't really know what that entails. Like I was even asking you about Liberty or Enlist, like different things. What can you spray 2,4-D on it? Like that stuff, you don't just know that. Like if you want to be
No, but with
successful,
AI now, like you
yeah, it
can
helps.
learn
Yeah.
and like I love talking chemical. I think your favorite thing about plots is absolutely frying the weeds. I mean, you love
Well,
going out there.
I've always had an eye for chemical on the farm.
Yeah, Andy doesn't come out to the farm very often without leaving with a few
What's
gallons of this
that?
or that.
What does that what does that kill? What can I spray that on? It's great.
But like one thing that
Yeah.
Andy and I really like is like a Liberty Link trade, and what Liberty is. So there's glufosinate and glue and gly. Andy calls it. Gly is Roundup, glue is Liberty, and they basically Liberty is and kind of works a little bit better than Roundup. I think there's less resistant weeds to Liberty, and especially if you spray it in the right conditions, which is high humidity and heat. Specifically high humidity though, that it works great. Like unbelievable. Well, they come out. I think you said that you were Googling that they have like Liberty Link sugar beets now, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Um, I think Matty P was going to look to see if they had Liberty Link alfalfa, but I think you Googled that too. And didn't you say that you'd found one or something that
Yeah, I think
had?
they do. I think they have it. Yeah.
So like paying attention to what kind of plant you're planting can save you a ton of headaches throughout the growing season. Like the weeds are going to be a problem. People hate weeds and they suck. And if you can have some sort of a chemical program that you know that you can take care of 85, 90, 95% of the weeds in that plot, you did a pretty good job, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we've talked about before, like difference between farming and like I get caught up in it because I see ag fields and it's like they're so clean and stuff like,
Bushel to
but
the
like
acre.
yeah, but people, yeah, the bushel on the acre, but it's like you get obsessed with it, but that's just the level I'm at. Where like, dude, I hate seeing a single thistle in my clover plot, but in all reality, the deer don't care, and I'm
No.
not going for a huge yield. Like I can deal with a little bit of weeds. I don't like it because it's not as clean as you need the yield. Yield is great. I get it. More food for the deer. The yield is great, but it doesn't matter. And
Yeah,
then
you're
unless
not
it's
taking it to
garbage.
town. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make money out of it. It's costing me money. I'm losing money farming.
Yeah.
And when I'm,
Join
and
the
as far
club.
as like, yeah, and like the weeds, it's like, dude, it hurts you more than the deer don't give a shit if there's a weed in your food plot. It's
Yeah.
more about future problems coming up because of the weed control, like with the pigweed and the water hemp we've talked about. And then like the thistle can be a problem, but like mowing clover, you're going to take care of that thistle pretty good. Like after a couple years, it's going to just kind of die off because it can't handle it. But it bothers us more. But in reality, you don't have to have a completely weedless food plot. It just for looks. You see it
No, but
on.
I will tell you the more weeds that you're willing to live with, the more you're going to have a problem with them in the years
Yeah,
to come.
yeah,
You know, like even mowing weeds before they go to seed. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that can be pretty, you're not going to kill them, but at least you're going to keep them at bay and you're going to keep them from reproducing. But yes, you're 100% right. Like you do not have to go out there and expect your food plot to look like the guy's soybean field 15 miles south of town or whatever,
yeah,
like we have big sprayers and agronomists and chemistry that we're going out with plants that are specifically designed to be resistant to certain chemicals. Like we have that technology and like we're probably going to get more of that honestly with the food plotting game, I bet down the
yeah,
road. But for the time being, like you're still doing more than the other guy is for that deer. You know what? Does that
yeah.
make sense? Like
Oh yeah,
as far as a deer hunter goes, you can't just you're not the best deer hunter in the world if you go and kill the biggest buck every single year. You're the best deer hunter in the world if you go kill the biggest buck every single year and you're feeding and taking care of the rest of the deer
Yeah.
that you have to ensure that you have a big buck to shoot every year. At least what you
Yeah.
can keep, what you can have in your control. Like obviously there's uncontrollables and the neighbor shoots 6 of the 9 that you had out there, whatever. But for what you can control, a food plot is such a great way to. Don't you have your planner? Don't you have your
Oh
planner with
yeah.
you?
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second, but like it's even like the floral argument we had earlier, one more fish, where it's like if I plant this plot, I could save 1 buck over that winter, or 4 does might survive because I'm providing this better food source where they would have died and they wouldn't have fawns, you know. So it's like it's just trying to give an edge, whether that be success or survival of the deer herd, you know. And so like for me it's like I don't need to do all the food plots I do to kill a big buck every year. I do it because I want them to have everything in the nutrition cycle that they need at different times of the year, like the clover for summer or later in the fall, and then the brassicas, and then the corn for the dog days of winter, whatever you want to call them, you know, where they're
Maybe an alfalfa bale after season
yeah,
or something
like
like.
it's and putting corn out supplementally, you know, like those things. I'm thinking about
Especially in
deer.
January, December, or January, February.
Well, and
Like
like they say that February, March, and April are the hardest because it's the end of winter before stuff starts greening up.
greens up.
It's like yeah, that makes sense. Where it's like I'm thinking about deer 300, and it's not as much anymore because you know we've talked about it. But like I was thinking when I was at my peak, it was 365 days a year, dude. I'm thinking about deer, and then their survival and like what do they need? What do they need to get to the next stage? And like not everyone's going to think like that, but the more you think like that, the more successful you're going to be, you know? So,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I 100% agree. And like, I think that one thing people have to realize if you do want to start going down the rabbit hole of food plots and stuff like that is like what I'm learning, and you learned it too 10 years ago or 8 years ago, however long it was. The deer don't just automatically know what they are either. Like don't get disgruntled if you don't have a million deer there in your first year. Like my food plot back here, the OG plot that we've had for years, they piss me off. Let's be honest. They don't go in there all fall. They do go in there all winter when you can't hunt them, or they have the last couple of years. And you've told me that 100 times. Like, yeah, it took the deer that I are in your area a little while to figure out what they are. Now they're in there all summer long every day.
Yeah,
And
you
you
can't
can't
keep them
keep
out
them
of it.
out of it.
But like you would like right there, they didn't know what they were, and like they didn't do it till they got desperate enough to like, oh, what's this? They tried it. They're like, oh, this is tasty, you know. And then they loved it. Like, but they were so desperate they had to try it because it was there and it was green and available and it probably smelled good. And then they finally tried it. And now look at it. I mean, like the couple winters ago, you're like, yeah, they're all back in there feeding every day or whatever, you know, in January or February, whatever it was.
Yeah, there
And
was
it's
like
like
10 bucks in there that I didn't even know existed.
it's kind of the bottom of the ninth mentality where like you can't give up, you got to keep grinding it through. Where like I mean you've seen what I've built where it's like it's incredible. I mean dude, it's
Oh.
top notch. I mean
And now
it's
you would be like, it would never go through your mind not going to plant those plots.
no, like it sucks
Ever.
sometimes you don't want to do it, but it's like the reward is just that feeling, dude,
Well, like,
is
I mean,
something
I remember
else.
sitting in over your food plots. Fortunately for me, I can hunt where Andy hunts too. And Andy lets me hunt out there. And it's an amazing, he's
Yeah,
very
it's
lucky.
something.
And so am I that I get to go out there too. But like, it has to be one of the most rewarding things in the world to kill the buck that you're after eating in your food plot that you planted
Yeah.
for them. Like there's not much more satisfaction, instant satisfaction than you get from killing a deer in your plot, knowing that tomorrow there'll still be 20 deer in there, just not him.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like
even like and just seeing them grow up, like I've watched that deer for several years and I've kind of I don't want to say I've taken care of him, but I've helped him grow to that state. I mean, they're nobody
100%.
you know, they're nobody's deer, but like I've definitely helped some of those deer get to the place they're at, and that's what it's all about for me. I mean, it's just cool
Well, I
to
mean, your bad winters, like the same winters we had were bad, and like you definitely lost some deer, but like you were going above and beyond to try to keep some of those deer at least healthy enough to make it through the winter.
yeah. Well, you have
Or
to,
like,
otherwise it takes another 5 years to get them back to what like if I have a 1.5, 2.5 year old buck die, instead of 2 years or 3 years of him being a shooter, now I'm back to square one where I'm waiting on fawns that might not even be born yet because the does might have aborted them or whatever. And it's like you got to think, you got to have foresight to look ahead to the future and think, yeah, I don't want to go out when it's -20 with the tracked ranger and dump corn out two or three times a week or whatever, but it's worth it every single time, like.
yeah, like last year my cousin was telling me, he's like, you deer can't just live off of corn all winter. Like they need some other stuff. Like you got, to help them out. And so I went and put in a big alfalfa bale out. Neighbor had one, bought it off of him or whatever. And they ate half of it. And I got a deer camera out there right now and a corn pile out. And there's deer in the background still eating after that alfalfa bale. Like they love it. And I put it out there and I never touched it again. I mean, I'd still put some corn out, but I never, it was easy. So,
Yeah,
I mean, even if you threw a bunch of square bales or whatever.
It's about providing them with, like, we don't know what they're going to eat, when they're going to eat it, what they prefer. Like we talked about with the canola earlier today, like deer have stages, like with the beans when they're green and then they start yellow and they won't touch. As soon as they start yellowing, they won't touch them until they're dried out. And like the brassica plots, when I've kind of separated them, like sometimes they'll go for the or trophy rape, and sometimes they'll hit the turnips harder. Like it just depends, like what the season is, and like sometimes in cold weather they'll prefer beans over corn or vice versa, or they want to dig for clover through a foot of snow when there's standing corn right there. It's their decision, but if you don't give them that, they're either going to die or they're going to find somewhere that has it and they're going to go there and they might get killed by a hunter or whatever.
Well, that's
So
the
you got to
thing.
provide.
Don't you think that the deer that, like your area, don't you think you have more wintering deer out there than you did before? And don't you think you have more deer there in the summer too, even?
Oh yeah, the summers changed because, like, remember when we first started hunting there, dude? Like there was no summer bucks. No, like I wouldn't even touch a bow till mid-October when they started coming through, like you remember with the pasture and stuff. And now, like, dude, I got summering bucks in 3 different spots on the ranch. Like it's just a different thing. And it's not all because of the food plots, but a lot of it is because of that, and it's like they summer in there.
And like bedding too, like a lot of people don't think about bedding as much, but bedding is such, like, that's a first thing we're out. Like if we're after a buck, our number one thing is figure out where he's bedding.
Every time.
I mean, it's the number one part of it's the step one of how to kill a big buck guideline is figure out where he's bedding and get as close as you can to him without
boogering him.
You booger him once, you're back to the drawing board. You're going to be figuring out. Remember when we lost Mega for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
Oh yeah, the year that I killed him.
Yeah. And weren't you just like checking a spot and you walked out and bumped him up or something? Yeah. You're like, I am almost certain. And then next thing you knew, you were in his playground now. But
it was like over a half a mile from where he had been all summer. And like that other, obviously Moose, the one right behind you, kicked his ass out of there. But it's like, remember I was playing games with my mind. And I was playing games with my mind, like, dude, that guy's got that little 5-acre homestead there. He might have shot him under his huge yard light, and I'm freaking out. It's just like
every day he was dead. Nah, he's dead. You absolutely drove yourself wild.
Yeah, but that's what you do. Like that's where it becomes a problem.
Same with him. I mean, dude, the week before came back, he wins us when the wind was in our face. Yeah. Not a fair playing field. And like, how does that keep happening? Like, is he gonna make the week? Is he gonna make the week? Well, he made the week. He didn't make the weekend, but he made the week.
Well, and it was just crazy.
There's just so many unknowns with him,
Yeah, and he did the same thing he did before, but he did it the last minute of late. I mean, you shot him 1 minute before legal was done. I remember.
Yeah, like that deer stays in his bed 2 extra minutes.
He's still alive at that.
Well, probably not, but he ain't dying that weekend.
Yeah, so
we thought it was over.
It was
We
over
thought it
until
was
I looked
over.
up and I was like, "No way." He was just standing there like a statue, and there wasn't another deer in that field. Like, it was crazy.
Because the doe
That
busted
was
us the week before, which boogered
yeah.
him, and like somehow they caught our wind, but he didn't leave, which makes me think like maybe he didn't catch our wind and he was just freaking out because the doe
Yeah.
was.
Oh, that's for
Because you
sure
could
what it
see
was.
that doe putting her long nose up in the air, like the
Yeah.
worst thing a buck hunter can see. Like, how was she
Yeah,
winning us from 300 yards away or how
I don't know,
200
she
yards
got us
away?
though,
Though?
man. That was nuts. It's just it's about like even we go back to the food plot stuff, it's about putting a little bit of an edge wherever you can. And like we've done that with and dude, we still don't kill them every year, get every buck we want to kill. But it's like it's about giving yourself that edge. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. But you can always learn like dude, there's stuff with food plots and stuff that I'm still learning, like my bow thing last year, remember with the string loop where
I would have never thought I would have been having that conversation with you.
yeah, so like my string loop was fraying a little bit for several years and I didn't really care. And 5 years ago I went to let that slide and like I just didn't care.
And
And
I
it's
was
like,
chirping you. I was
yeah,
chirping you that day.
yeah, and
Andy Tope is gonna mess up on a giant because of
yeah,
that.
of being worthless. And like that target buck came out that night and I should have killed him at 20 yards and I drew back and the arrow went flying because the string loop broke. And it's like that kind of stuff there, I never let go or I always had it dialed in and then I started slipping. And I'm not going to blame walleyes and whatever, but that's part of it. But it's like, you only have so much time and energy and effort to put towards something and like I was always so proud of like not going out on the lake and like these people partying and like I'm putting
Not
in the
going
time.
golfing.
Yeah, and I'm putting in the time and I'm dialing it all in. And come the fall, I can't wait to listen to all these people bitching because they aren't getting the big buck and I am. And then that was me, and so it came back to haunt me. But it's like I'm not gonna let that fly again. Now she's fixed. She's right over there, right up there. And but it's like those things, like giving yourself the edge, but it can ruin a hunt. Like that deer got shot by the neighbors over firearm, never came back after that. So I don't
He
know,
was
man.
back the next night, wasn't he?
I think so, but it was hard
Late.
to tell in that picture. Yeah, he might have been, but after that, he dipped out. He was
He
gone.
was gone.
I never got another picture during the rut or nothing.
And I
So
told you that. I'm like, wow, dude, like, because you're like, yeah, whatever, And I'm like, normally you would have been old Andy would have been fit to be tied.
no,
I mean,
I'd have been
raging,
one. Yeah,
storming around. And you're like, oh, just another day, which I think also has come with we have both calmed down a lot on it's not always the number one priority to kill anymore. I mean, it
yeah,
is, but the number one priority is to most of the time now, we never used to, but most of the time now we'll opt to hunt together. Like normally
yeah,
we always would split up and all that, but like lately we've been hunting together because we get to hunt what 6 days a year at the most, 10 days a year at the most together.
yeah.
And 6 of those or 5 of those are normally garbage time, end of December, where
I lost the sound. Is it my headset or what? Can you hear me?
uh
Oh yeah, now I got you.
my mic must have died. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, like most of the time it's garbage time and it's like whatever, but we still have fun, I mean, but we talk about the food plot stuff and all the stuff that goes into the running cameras, baiting, all that stuff. And like the kill, I mean, it means something, but like getting the deer within 20 yards, 30 yards, whatever,
Yeah,
you
you
won.
fooled them.
Yeah,
You
like you
fooled them.
won the game. Like I won that game, dude. I won it. My lack of preparation costs me that deer, but I won the game. Like I mean, I
Yeah.
killed him without killing him. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough to eat it. I mean, I shot a smaller buck than that one when the year end, at year's end I had a smaller buck in my possession than that one, so it kind of hurts, but
Yeah, he was the big, like that was
yeah,
the
he was a
one
nice
that you
buck.
wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So it's tough, but I know we want to talk a little more about the food plot stuff. We got brassica plots coming up here. I still got to burn some stuff down. You burned yours down
I burned
tonight.
mine down today. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I just so anyway, the way I do it, you got the Granger or whatever, but the way I do it is I'll usually burn it down and then I'll go dig it with that $500 field tough cultivator, which I've had that for 12. I've done a lot of acres with that.
And you
And
love it? Just pull with the Ranger or four-wheeler, or what do you
yeah,
do?
usually a four-wheeler because it's 48 inches wide. But for $500, you get an implement where that stuff's pretty expensive to buy,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's I still use it to this day, and I'll dig it all up. I'll go both ways. I'll go the wide way and then the long way, and then because you can't break everything up just going one pass typically because the chisel plows separate. They're a little further apart, but and then I'll drag it to make it level because if the way those make furrows with that cultivator, like you can't drag it or the seed gets too deep with the brassicas. We want to get quarter-inch depth, and so I'll drag it with an old metal drag, and then what I'll do is I'll take this bad boy here, the Whiz, which is
Oh
like
yeah.
$25, and its battery, you can hear it spinning. The battery operated, it spins this little disc right here. You can control where it throws. This thing, you can open it up a little bit, and that's where I
Lift it
kind of
up a
talked
little
about
bit higher.
where I talked about last week, where
Yeah.
it throws to the left more than it does the right. So when you're walking
Yep.
down, it'll throw far to the left. So if you're going this way, like this way, you got to like go an extra further on that one. But on the way back, when you're coming back on the right side, it's not throwing very far. So you got to tuck up tight against it. But then I hand do all of my plots, and I have several acres that I'm doing every year. And just because I'm anal about the seed population and then I'll drag it when I get done. But you can kind of see with your feet in the fresh soil where you've gone. So you can see your marks as you're going back and forth, and
Yeah.
obviously we've had some issues with the grain drill stuff, because brassicas are
Um,
picky and it's annoying. But
yeah, I got the Ferminator, and I have my seed meter all the way pinched down to where at least seed will go in there. As small as it'll go for it to go down there. And I set my grandpa out with like enough seed to do like 5 acres. I think we had like 4 different plots, and they were all going into brassicas. And he calls me, he's like, "Yeah, we got a problem." I'm like, what's that? And he's like, "Well, I ran out of seed, and I'm only half done with the first plot."
yeah,
Like
that's a
like
big problem.
$300 worth of seed or whatever it was. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And it came up beautiful, about 4 inches tall, and none of them produced a bulb. And they ended up getting kind of sickly looking, like just too much competition or whatever the case may be. So yeah, and of course we were supposed to do what you said. You and I had talked about last year. I was supposed to plant like a little test plot somewhere, like behind my house or somewhere where I can just see, and plant it early, like maybe the beginning of May. And then that gives me 2 months to dial that thing in to figure out exactly how I want it. Now, did I do that? Absolutely not. Of course not. I got busy farming or whatever. So now we got brassica season, which is probably any time from now
Couple
until
weeks, yeah.
the beginning of August. Try to plant them before rain or something like that. And but yeah, like you said, I just went and burnt my I sprayed a burn down on the whole plot, on every plot today. Got them, so in a week or two they'll be ready. And then yeah, I don't know. Brassicas are my favorite. I think I just gotta dial them in a little bit. So
Yeah, they're just picky, man. Like they don't like too much, but if you don't spread enough, then you don't get forage. So it's like, I don't know. I have a certain way of doing it, and I've done it for quite a few years successfully. But it's like I learned the hard way too. Like I did them too thick, or planted them too early, or too late, or whatever. Like now I just know, water them a weekend, last full weekend. I'm within that next week. I gotta have them in the ground and pray for rain. Like if you don't get rain for 3 weeks, you didn't gain anything. But if you plant them mid-July and get rain, you're too early. They'll start shriveling up towards their maturity date, and it's like, I don't know. There's just a lot to it, but you live, you learn.
the best luck I've had, I think, is like literally that last week of July. I planted them
Yeah.
early, like just because like if we are trending drier, I would risk planting earlier if I have a better shot of getting some moisture on it. Like the one thing about anything that you're planting, if you're planting into the dust, which most of the time we are, you gotta have a rain or they're not
Yeah.
gonna germinate. And like you're almost better off planting earlier than normal or later than normal if you can plan it around a timely rain. Or if you
Yeah.
know like Sunday there's going to be a 70% chance of rain. I think Saturday I'm going to go try to get my plot worked, But don't freak out either. Like they can lay in the dust for a while.
Well, I've had them late for 3 weeks and they've been banger, but like Jerica knows, like the right around Waterama that week, I might be on call kind of deal where like if there's a rain coming, I'm going out to grind. It takes me usually a full day to get all my brassicas dug,
Yeah.
drug, planted, drug again, whatever, because they're in different areas and like but you got to commit to that, like some people don't want to commit to that, whatever.
And
But
be
I do. I
prepared too. Like if you know you only have one day, don't be like, oh, I gotta go get seed. Like have all that shit ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Load
got
it
my
in your
stuff right
pickup.
down here. Yep.
Yep.
And
That way,
like
like when
the,
you plan to go out, you're ready.
And even like I've had great success with like rain, dude. I've had a pouring rain where it just soaks everything, and 2 hours after the rain, I'll go out and dig these food plots and spread them and drag them in. And like, dude, I've had some of my best banger plots where you're basically digging into them. I mean, it's not mud, but like it's wet, and you by the time you dig it, drag it, spread it, drag it again, like it's just moist enough to where they're still gonna germinate. But like if you miss the rain, you can still do like if you didn't get out there and then it rained, you can do that, on the plots. Like I've done that in the pine trees a lot and they turn out great, dude. Like it's almost better than getting the rain because if you get for some reason we get a lot of washout rains in August, it feels like, and then those little seeds they get washed out, so you
Yeah,
got like
you've
the
had to reseed a few times, haven't you?
yeah, like either washouts or like some of mine are a little bowly, so like all the seed will wash into the middle, and then it's over because they get too thick in the middle, and it's like it got to have a nice solid like soaker rain, otherwise that's why I almost prefer to plant them after the rain, which is kind
Well,
of
as long
crazy,
as you
but
can get your drag through and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is once they germ, they can live on like hardly any water
yeah,
when
they're
they're
impressive
little.
little plants.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
because
corn is the same way. Like when we plant corn and soybeans, as long as you got moisture to get them germinated, they'll be fine for a while.
oh yeah,
Probably long enough
those.
to where you get another rain.
Because you think about the bulbs on those turnips, they got big tap roots, so they're going.
Tap
That's
roots,
the
yeah.
first. Because you look like sometimes I'll go out and like they've sprouted and they're like this, they're like an inch tall, and then I'll go back a week or two later and they're like an inch and a half tall. You're like, what's going on? Well, that tap root's going straight. That's the first thing that's going straight down,
Yeah,
and
that
it's like
it's putting more under the ground than above the
yeah,
ground.
and then all of a sudden you go back a week later and it's like, what? They're 10 inches tall, it's crazy. But I do like the after rain, but I plant with the four-wheeler, so like the four-wheeler and that digger or the cultivator I'm talking about, I can get in there when it's a little moist or muddy. And by the time you till it or dig it once, it's dry enough to where it's perfect, dude. And it's like, I almost prefer that, to be honest. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird,
I mean,
but
as long as you know you're not going to get like a 3-incher and like you know that you'll be able to get in there after the rain, or maybe if you do get a 3-incher, let it dry for like 2 days or 3 days, and then go in when it's still a little bit tacky or whatever.
yeah, yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a
But a
lot.
lot of times, like I'll wait for a rain sometimes, or I'll plant them before rain. As a farmer, why plant a crop if you don't think it's going to rain? So
Yeah.
you can't tell yourself like, oh, I'm not going to spend this much money or do this on this crop because it ain't going to rain. You don't know that. You got to sometimes you just go plant it and hope for the best. I mean,
Well, you have to. I mean, you get
there's
burned
only so much
sometimes.
you can control, and weather, unfortunately, isn't one of them. So
Yeah, like I've been talking to Pisky about the rain. It rains every single day here. It seems like, other than the last like 2 days. And I was like, "Oh, don't worry, Jordan. The rain will be done as soon as I plant my brassicas, buddy. Just
yeah,
wait. End of July,
yeah.
you won't get a rain for 3 weeks. It's just how it
Well, like
goes.
that's
So
what my grandpa always says is don't ever really complain about rains in June because that's supposed to be your wet month. Like that's supposed to be the month that the ground is reloading and holding on to a bunch. So like right now, what was it in Fargo today? Like 100 or 99 degrees or
yeah, that
something. I mean,
was
it's just
miserable.
ridiculously hot, and it's going to be like that for the next 5 or 6 days. Like that absolutely sucks that moisture
It's
completely out of the
crazy
ground.
how like you can water something like a garden or whatever, and it's covered with plants, so like it's not the sun's not really hitting the dirt, and it's still the next day after a 95-degree hot sunny day, it's dry, dude. Like it's weird.
Well, where
It's
I sprayed tonight, we were gonna spray yesterday, and Thursday night we got an inch and a half of rain over there. And besides the low spots had a little more water than maybe they normally have. But besides that, dude, like you couldn't tell it rained 2 nights. You couldn't
smooth
tell it rained
sailing.
an inch and a half 2 nights.
Yeah, that's
Like an
crazy.
inch
Like
and a half.
it's
It's not like it rained two tenths or 3 tenths. It rained an inch and a half.
yeah, yeah, man.
So
It's all about timing and just getting. I mean, you got to commit to putting them in one way. Like if it doesn't rain, if I don't get a timely rain by August 5th, they're going in regardless. Like that's
yeah.
kind of my deadline. Like I got to get them
And then
in.
just hope you get a rain. And I mean, you just gotta water. Didn't you water one time?
Oh yeah, that was that. Yeah, in town there, like it was. I had 1,000 feet of hose to water those brassica plants, and it didn't make a bit of like. I got them to sprout, but it was so dry underneath that as soon as that dried out, like we're talking about, they all died because they couldn't get down far enough to get water because it was so. I mean, it was when we augered holes for those apple trees we planted. It was 4 feet down with the bobcat auger, dry, dude. In the bottom, in the river bottom at the ranch there, dude. Like that's crazy. That year was crazy. But yeah,
Well, yeah, it's
psychoed
just kind
1,000
of
feet of hose.
like you could tell we were dry coming in this summer or this spring too, because like our fields could handle a lot. They handled a lot of moisture before it started filling sloughs out. And
Yeah,
now obviously everything is full standard out here. But when I planted through everything, and we handled a substantial amount of rain before we started losing those low spots. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I mean, yeah, I would like to say it could dry up, but if I want the greedy farmer in me wants to be like, yeah, perfect 3/4 of an inch of rain every 8 days, every
yeah,
9 days. I mean,
yeah,
if we're asking for a perfect world, that's what I would ask for.
yeah.
And 98 is a little too hot. I like 83 during the day and 60 at night, 63 at night.
Well,
Give
it's
me all
even
of
like today, like, yeah, we ran around the stores a little bit and stuff, but like it's too hot to even want to go fishing or do any like,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you could spray or something. Like I could go spray with Ranger, got a little AC in there, whatever, but it's like it's not fun. You're still
Yeah,
sweating.
I
You still got
mean,
to
that's
sweat.
kind of
And
why we plan on meeting in Fargo today, because I would
yeah,
literally rather sit in the AC pickup than
yeah,
I
then go
would.
fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I didn't even pull like the boat. I know I'm gonna get my fill of fishing next week, so I
yeah,
had to get that spraying done. I wanted to get you that trolling motor. I had to get a few items from Shields. Um, so like I'm glad we got all that done. But like
yeah,
tomorrow, I don't. Tomorrow's supposed to be the hottest day yet, I think, and I had in the sprayer tonight, John Deere sprayer. I had the AC, I had the fan all the way cranked and the temperature all the way on low for the entire 3 loads, 3.5 hours, or however long I sprayed, and I was still kind of sweating in there. Like that AC could not keep up.
wasn't it last year, or the year before, where the AC was out in that thing or something, and you guys were
Yeah, I had my
spraying?
shirt off in
Oh
the
my god!
sprayer. Like
Oh, it's
90
just
degrees out, and I
crazy.
called my buddy Steve. He works at John Deere. I'm like, Steve, this ain't gonna work for me. Like,
Yeah, dude.
because
Well,
you
it's
can't
just like
open
a
windows in there.
yeah, it's like a convection oven because all that heat's coming through the. It's like a car with the windows up in the summer. I mean, you're
Well,
getting
and
extra
the
hot.
engine's right in front of you.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh my god. Yeah, it's
Engine's
just.
right in front of you, and all that surface area glass with like the sun you literally bake in there.
Yeah, yeah,
I
dude.
was
It's
like, I remember when I got empty and I went back to load. I think Duty was there, and I like, oh yeah, it was Duty, and I opened the door, and it felt like I was like, it was the opposite. Like you know how when it's hot, you open up the door and you get in and it's cold. This
yeah,
was like hotter than hell in there, and I opened the door and it was like, oh nice, and I think it was
yeah.
like
Going
80 out
outside.
already
Yeah,
or something
dude.
crazy.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. All right,
Well,
well, I think probably bedtime.
yeah, we'll
What is
wrap it
it?
up. I think. What are we gonna? I mean, if we do one more, we'll have to see if Blake's coming back or what. If you guys are gonna
Yeah,
take it or
I'll
what.
give Blake a call. Well, I don't know. You're gonna probably be in a few of these anyways. I think Blake will probably be fine with that anyhow. So I don't know for sure. Probably next Friday or Saturday we'll do another one. We're gonna try to be a lot more consistent on getting these episodes out, and like obviously every episode we do, it gets a little bit easier and easier too. Like
Yeah, I mean, you
next
never
thing you
know who's
we
listening, but
we just who knows? A shout out
some
to
people,
everybody who
like,
is listening.
some
Like
people
and
are
share
loving
on
it. So.
Facebook. Like let everybody, let all your buddies know. Like it's kind of the cop in your spot thing. Like, hey, don't be copping anybody's spot, but if you want to tell your buddies about our podcast, you sure can do that too. So
yeah, just I mean, we bullshit like this anyway, so why not record it and let people.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're an hour and 53 minutes in, and
this is the
it
longest
seemed like
one for
we
sure.
fired it up 5 minutes ago. So
it's crazy, but
if anybody wants to like hear or talk about something, like reach out to me or Andy or whatever. Like we'll try to talk something where maybe not.
Yeah. We got I mean, we're at July now. The days are starting to get shorter, so it's like stuff's coming.
Well, I think August. When are you coming out? Somewhere around the 20th of August,
yeah,
something like that.
22nd or something.
Hopefully, we're gonna do a little deer scout. We might try to maybe we'll hook the Starlink up and do an episode in the pickup or something while we're watching for deer or something. That'd be kind of sweet. So yeah, we're gonna just start doing stuff like that and getting more stuff out. And Blake, I think, is heading back. I don't know if he's heading back tonight or tomorrow from Lake of the Woods. So we'll see what he's got going on, and we'll give her hell.
Yeah, it'd be fun to do one with Blake. I haven't talked to him for a little while, so
yeah, we'll get one with all three of us. We need to get his some fishing stories, and I know they had a hell of a week up north fishing, and
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean next week's episode, I might be doing from Garrison.
Yeah.
I think I kind of already decided I'm going to bring the podcast up or the computer up. Maybe we should try to do one like next Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Kind of let you know how pre-fishing is going and what we're finding or something. But yeah, we'll keep everybody in the loop, get another one out, and thanks for listening.
Yep. Keep grinding.
Keep grinding. Always finish it out till the bottom of the ninth.
Yep. All right.
All right. See you, buddy. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Bye.